Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we are diving into something that trips up even the most successful, most ambitious people out there, hitting a plateau that you just can't seem to punch through. We're going to unpack a framework that's all about cutting through that fog to find your focus. So, let me ask you this. Ever have that feeling? You know the one? You're putting in the long hours, you're grinding, you're doing all the things you think you're supposed to be doing, but the needle just isn't moving. It's like you're stuck on a treadmill, running faster and faster, but going absolutely nowhere. It's incredibly frustrating. Well, that feeling, that state of being, it has a name. We call it the entrepreneurial fog. It's that confusing, kind of hazy place where all your effort feels completely disconnected from any real measurable progress. And let me tell you, this is a super common challenge. It's not just for people starting out. We see this all the time with top producing real estate agents, people who are already successful but hit this invisible wall. They're busy, sure, but they can't figure out why their business isn't growing predictably. The fog rolls in, and the path to that next level just vanishes. Okay, so let's get into it. What is actually causing this fog? The first instinct for almost every high achiever is to just work harder, right? To do more stuff. But what if the problem isn't about effort at all? What if more activity is actually the wrong medicine? This right here, this slide, gets to the absolute heart of the problem. We try to solve an internal clarity issue with external activity. We think, oh, I just need more leads. So we go through a bunch of money at a new marketing tool, maybe from a place like StreetText. Or we think, I'm not closing enough, so we just decide to make way more calls. But these are just treating the symptoms. The real problem, the root cause, is usually internal. It's unclear thinking, it's weak communication, and it's a fundamental lack of direction. And that brings us to this key idea, the clarity bottleneck. It's when the main thing holding you and your business back isn't your work ethic, it's your thinking. Your growth is literally capped, not by how hard you can work, but by how clearly you can think, communicate your value, and make decisions. For so many people, realizing this is a total game changer. So the crucial question is, how do you break through it? You can't just tell yourself to think harder. That doesn't work. You need a system, a repeatable process to slice through that fog and start building real sustainable momentum. So let's look at a simple but incredibly powerful 4-step framework that does exactly that. This 4-step cycle creates structure where there was only chaos. You start with the positive, right? Step 1, acknowledge what's already working. That builds confidence. Step 2, isolate the real challenges, not just the noisy symptoms. Get honest. Step 3 is about skill building, focusing on things like communication or developing better situational awareness. And finally, step 4, define your very next move. Make it practical and actionable. It's this cycle of diagnosing, training, and then taking action that creates clarity. And this is what it all leads to. It's a chain reaction. Applying this framework over and over again gets you this simple, beautiful outcome. Clear thinking leads to better communication. And better communication is what drives real, measurable progress. You stop chasing scattered activity and start making focused, intentional moves. So, what does this actually look like in the real world? This isn't just theory, I promise. It's about making a fundamental pivot from just valuing hard work to valuing clear thinking. Let's hear from some people who've actually made that shift. Did you catch that last word? Immediate. That's the part that's so amazing. This pivot from confusion to clarity, it doesn't have to take years. Once you have the right framework, the fog can lift so much faster than you think, and it can completely transform how you see your business overnight. And there's that direct link again. Better communication, better decision-making. These aren't just fluffy, soft skills. They translate directly into better results. This is where thinking clearly makes a tangible, measurable difference to your bottom line. And finally, this just grounds the whole idea. At the end of the day, any approach has to be practical. It has to be honest. It's not about hype or some short-term motivation boost. It's about a straightforward, grounded approach that actually delivers results you can see and feel. So let's bring all this back around to you. We've talked about the fog, we've talked about the real bottleneck being a lack of clarity, and we've laid out a framework to break through it. The question now is, how do you know if this is what you need? Just take a second and look at this list. Do you see yourself here? Are you an entrepreneur who's tired of hype and just wants practical guidance? A business owner who's desperate for clarity and momentum? Or maybe a sales professional who knows deep down that stronger communication is the key? If you're anyone who just wants real progress and consistent improvement, then this shift in focus is for you. So I'm going to leave you with this one big question to think about. What breakthrough is waiting for you on the other side of clarity? Seriously, just imagine it. If you could clear away all that fog, what becomes possible? What big decision could you finally make? What critical conversation could you finally have? What goal could you finally reach? Hey, if this whole idea of a clarity bottleneck really clicked with you, and you want to dive deeper into more strategies for breaking through, check out the website and the YouTube channel for more resources. Thanks so much for tuning in, and here's to finding your focus.